Hey!
Hey, hi.
Welcome to the Natasha and Debbie show.
Hello.
That's brutal. Just two patriotic girls, so please don't take us the wrong way.
Politics.
Mm-mm.
It's the one thing we try to avoid on this channel.
Okay, sorry.
After watching the news all day, we like you to have a place to come to relax, laugh, and learn with us.
Absolutely. The Ukraine war, COVID, everything, current events are scary. They're scary, and it's not like we ignore them. We still absolutely educate ourselves with current events and things going on. A lot of you probably are aware that here in America, we've had about 4 to 5 different, who knows how many now, unidentified objects that have been shot down by our government. And there's some things going on over here. And the video we have today is a relevant current event topic, and it's certainly by no means something we're trying to make into a political conversation or video. Right?
Absolutely not.
But it's
going to learn about it.
It's something to be proud of. It's something to be damn proud of. And that's why we're doing it today. But before we do that,
if you like today's video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing.
Yes.
Also, leave us a comment.
That'd be wonderful. So, before we get into anything and even say the name of the video, as always, let's do what we do. Thank you. Thank you to any and all active duty servicemen and women and veterans of all of our allied, allied countries. Thank you.
Yes.
These 2 Americans and a lot more really mean that when we say that. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Today's video is Ready for China. RAF joins the U.S. and Australia for largest allied air exercise ever.
Heck yeah.
And I have been aware of a lot of what's going on with these exercises the last couple of weeks because they've been popping up on my phone and I've been reading a little bit about them. But this will be seeing part of that for the first time. I've never seen it.
No.
And it's just like the coolest thing I'm excited about. And we know they do exercises in other parts of the world as well. But this one is the big one. So what we're about to watch is one of the red flag exercises. And if you don't know about red flag, we want to just give you a little touch of information because it's something that we love and know about, and it's awesome.
Yeah, that's so awesome. Wait till you hear about this.
Yeah, it's the coolest thing. So I just wanted to pull up because I don't want to just give you my knowledge. I want to give you the really smart knowledge. I mean, I know my stuff, but I want to make sure I don't miss anything for you. So just pulling up about red flag. So here's what it is. It's a 2-week advanced aerial combat training exercise held several times a year by the United States Air Force. It aims to offer realistic air combat training for military pilots and other flight crew members from the United States and allied countries. Each year, 3 to 6 red flag exercises are held at Nellis Air Force Base, Nevada, and up to 4 more dubbed Red Flag Alaska as well. First held November 29th, 1975, red flag exercises bring together air crews from the U.S. Air Force, U.S. Navy, U.S. Marine Corps, U.S. Army, and of course, numerous NATO and allied nations' air forces. Red flag exercises are conducted under the control of the United States Air Force Warfare Center at Nellis. They are run by the 414th Combat Training Squadron of the 57th Wing. They use enemy hardware and live ammunition for bombing exercises within the adjacent Nevada test and training range. Now, here's what's also really cool, too. So the participating countries, the only countries considered friendly towards the United States take part in red flag exercises. And so far, the countries that have participated in these exercises are, you ready? These are the countries that have Australia. I don't have enough fingers. Belgium, Brazil, Canada, Chile, Colombia, Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, India, Israel, Italy, Jordan, Netherlands, Norway, Pakistan, Portugal, Sweden, Singapore, Saudi Arabia, South Korea, Spain, Turkey, United Arab Emirates, and of course, Venezuela and the United Kingdom.
Yes.
Try to read that as fast as I can. And it's just like the coolest thing ever. And I know that it's one of the hardest, most rigorous, and best training places in the world. And I know other countries do have people that come over and get trained here as well. So that's where this is at. The video we're about to watch is the red flag. And I hope they'll give us a little bit more information on that as well. So we're going to check this out. The RAF with the U.S. and the Australians. God, I love you guys. I'm feeling such pride for all 3 countries right now. This is awesome. Let's do this and see the largest Allied air exercise ever. I think this was even like a week or two ago that this actually occurred.
Yeah, I think it was fairly recently.
So let's dive into this. I'm very excited to check it out.
Let's check it out.
The bright lights and bling of Las Vegas. But as revelers risk their dollars on the edge of town, warfighters are taking to the skies. By night and by day, American, Australian and British crews set out on sorties in the biggest air combat training exercise anywhere in the world. This is Red Flag.
It is.
My job is to train the coalition air forces to the most advanced adversary that we possibly can.
It's probably the most demanding and challenging exercise from an aircrew perspective.
Very, very stressful, and that's the whole point.
This huge exercise happens every year, but 2023 has been different.
Yep.
So we're going to find out why.
That there is Las Vegas. You can see how close we are to the city itself. And over this way, the vast expanse of the Nevada desert. And today's missions are just beginning.
Nice shot.
Red Flag began almost half a century ago when the US military realised from Vietnam that if pilots survived their first 10 missions, the chances were they'd survive the war. Red Flag was born to simulate those first 10 perilous sorties.
Red Flag, the most realistic combat training exercise ever developed.
Today, the exercise is bigger than ever. There's now 3 a year. This is Red Flag 1, and it's huge.
So this is the British flight line. We've got all our Typhoons nicely lined up.
Heck yeah.
Next to us are the Australians. They've brought their 4 Growlers with them. And beyond them are the US. Now there's around 100 jets here, and this stretches for over a mile.
Although the goal remains the same, after years of looking eastward, now attention turns to a new threat.
The red flag scenarios during Red Flag 23-1 are 100% focused on the pacing challenge in China. We present the blue participants with both offensive and defensive counter problem sets every training period that they're participating in.
The big challenge now is what the Americans call the tyranny of distance, the miles a task force would need to cover just to reach the fight.
Yep.
They could also be operating over water, not land, and potentially fighting a well-equipped enemy. To tackle the tyranny of distance, they've almost tripled the airspace they're training in. It now stretches from Utah across Nevada into California and for the first time over the Pacific Ocean.
Wow.
All the nations involved bring their own expertise to the party, and this problem of distance means...
Yeah, they do.
Yeah,
I'm
I
sorry.
know.
Just like, I'm seriously, can you see my goosebumps? My hair's
Yeah,
standing
me
straight
too.
up my arms. I'm just like, every time they should the kangaroo on the plane, on the Growler.
It's so awesome.
Oh man, it's just the coolest thing ever. It's like, you know, you fear the enemy, but you don't. When you have allies like these, it's like, okay, nah. You know, I'm not making light of something that can happen, but I'm just proud. Yeah, I'm proud, and I love our allies. And all 3 working together is just like,
It's beautiful.
thank you.
It's beautiful.
Absolutely.
I mean, what else can you say?
That right there.
That's awesome.
That's pretty damn
That
cool.
is pretty awesome.
Woo.
Nations involved bring their own expertise to the party, and this problem of distance means what the British bring is key.
Oh, okay. So this is what I first read the first time I heard about this. They have, I'm going to shut up. They're going to tell us here.
The Voyager is the RAF's air-to-air refueling tanker. It's basically a civilian airliner with a few handy military adaptations.
So I'd like to thank you guys for that, because we kind of need that.
Yeah, it sounds like we need to refuel.
So
Possibly.
thank you, RAF, for our Air Force. Yes. So that's cool. It's a commercial airliner with they've added military upgrades to it. I mean, that's just awesome.
It has 2 underwing pods for refueling fast jets with an additional center hose for larger aircraft.
That's so
it can
cool.
refuel 2 jets at a time, delivering half a ton of fuel a minute, with each jet taking around 5 minutes to refuel.
I know you can do 2 at a time.
Complements the US tanker, the KC-135, which uses a single rigid boom and is better for refueling bombers and larger aircraft.
Hose is about 99 feet long, and you'll just see the basket tucked up in there.
and it'll come out behind the aircraft and just sit in the airflow here, and then the receivers come up with their probes, and then their job is to prod their probes into the basket at about 400 miles an hour.
The Voyager is effectively...
I'm sorry, but isn't it just incredible that they can refuel while being in the air? Yeah. I mean, that looks like it'd be extremely difficult to line all that up and hook it up, but they've obviously been perfecting this and doing an awesome job.
Who had Top Gun, the game, on Nintendo, the original Nintendo, and had to do that crap?
I didn't play that.
It was impossible. My brother and I were like, we always died because we couldn't refuel the daggone plane. You had to hold that thing steady, and it was like,
yeah.
But in real life?
Yeah, thank goodness they have it perfected.
400 miles an hour.
Yeah, that's insane.
Awesome. It's so awesome.
It's awesome, but it's also kind of crazy.
A force multiplier, enabling aircraft to stay airborne for longer. She's therefore critical to this year's red flag.
Absolutely.
So although this, to all intents and purposes, looks exactly like a civilian airliner, we are essentially an international airborne fuel station. We hang out on the edge of the training area, ready, waiting to refuel the British Typhoons, the US Marine Corps F-35Bs, and the Royal Australian Air Force, and the US Navy's Growlers. Okay, Sophie, what are we expecting?
Okay, so we're going to expect a couple of Typhoons in the next 20 minutes. And then the second wave, we've got some F-35s coming.
Heck yeah.
Busy. It is very busy. I mean, these guys are just so busy. So I just try not to talk to them.
They need to concentrate.
Yes, they do.
It's not long before the first customers arrive. Up front, the mission systems operator controls the refueling. Today, the Voyager has 50 tons of fuel to deliver to 18 aircraft in around 90 minutes. Meanwhile, the job of the pilots is to fly straight and level.
Yeah.
Very still, very steady, very predictable.
That's great.
We don't want them to be disorientated while they're around the aircraft. We want to provide a nice, steady platform for them to come and get their fuel. As you can imagine, it's like a big flexible hose. It bounces around if there's any bumps or turbulence. So it's hard enough as it is, so anything we can do to make it easy for them, we will. The jets come and formate on the left-hand wing.
How cool is that?
Kind of like the holding area. And then two at a time, they'll come one behind each hose. They'll then connect when they get the green light.
Do you see our nations? You see what we're doing?
Working together.
It's the coolest thing ever. I love this. I absolutely love this. It's literally, I don't know. I got no words, man. I'm trying to come up with some profound words enough, but I just feel it in my body. I just thank you all again, all the nations and the military. It's just the coolest thing ever. It just makes me so happy.
Yes.
And
light to say they can take their fuel. When they're finished, they'll disconnect, and then they move off to the right-hand wing, which is kind of the holding area before they leave. And then they'll climb up above us and head back to their fight.
The Voyager is a very critical enabling asset, what we call a high-value asset. So what we tend to do is make sure that the Voyager is protected. We don't want the Voyager near the enemy forces, and we always want to have blue forces, fighters, in between the Voyager and the enemy.
Of course.
So we would have fighters protecting the Voyager, we'd have fighters up front fighting the enemy, and we'd also probably have fighters on the Voyager refueling as well.
Okay.
Once we brought our Typhoons and tanker, the Australians came with their Growlers.
Heck yeah.
The EA-18G Growler is an electronic attack aircraft designed to scramble enemy communications.
Okay, awesome. Australia, we love you.
Heck yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's
definitely
just the
needed.
That's the coolest thing.
Yeah, it is.
That's like, they brought the tech, like, we got you. Okay, see, again, this is awesome. You put us all together.
Yeah, everybody takes a part.
It's just awesome.
An exercise for Australia. For us, it really includes incorporating into packages of up to 60 or 70 aircraft to achieve various mission sets. Our task or our mission set is really to enhance survivability and lethality of the joint coalition force, and we do that by denying or degrading or deceiving enemy communications or RAF equipment to make sure that the Typhoons, for example, can achieve their mission set.
It's not just the scenario putting the visitors to the test, the cold winter desert also has its challenges.
Well, it's used to being in such a warm climate, and now it's like freezing, and we're just like, oh, what is it going to do now? But we always figure it out. It's great. They may look simple, but they're really not. There is so much design that's gone into them and so much information that you've got to learn about it to be able to fix it or troubleshoot it.
As the Allies evolve, so too does the enemy. To keep coalition forces on their toes, Nellis Air Base has a unit of resident baddies. Their job is to provide red air, in other words, to get amongst the blue friendly forces and do all they can to disrupt them. Last year, they became even more lethal when they were joined by a new squadron of F-35s, headed up by Commander Norto. This is their first international red flag.
It's a challenge to a certain degree. I think the baseline you start as your best fighter pilot that you can be is the absolute baseline, whether from the enemy or from the good side. But then now you have to put yourself in the mindset of the enemy, that you're hitting the missile launch, the simulated missile launch button against your friends out there, and you can't be afraid to do that, because any hesitation in doing that means that your friend is not getting the best training that they could possibly get.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Another day, another mission.
They need to be snug so that when you're pulling G in the aircraft, these pants inflate and squeeze the blood back up to your torso and into your brain, so you don't lose consciousness under high G. They need to be tightly fitted. After a few weeks in America, is a challenge to get on in a hurry.
Do you have to psych yourself up for going out for a sortie?
You certainly need to put yourself in the right frame of mind. Also, they have rock music in here, which helps as well. Get into the mood, clear the mind. Yeah, out here you get a kind of a big match mindset. So with so many people watching as well, you don't want to let each other down, and you want to give the best performance you can. So absolutely, I definitely still get nervous.
Bit of rivalry with the Americans and the Australians as well at all?
No, not at all. We just want to get the bad guys.
Oh, right there, dude.
Love that.
Yes. Yes. No rivalry at all with the Americans, Australians, and the British.
Yep.
We just want to get the bad guys. That's all.
right. Work together and get it done.
Yes. I love it. I love it. That was the single best thing I've heard.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That just makes me happy. And that's right. That's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. I mean, look at our flags. Look at the U.S. flag, the Union flag, and the Australian flag together. A lot of red, white, and blue going through
there. Yes, there is.
They look beautiful together.
They do.
We would like to see Canada and New Zealand too. There's Five Eyes, right? Is that what it's called?
Five Eyes, yeah.
It sounds like we said Five Guys. We said Five Eyes. I think that's correct. Five Eyes. And I know that they do things here too. It would be cool if all five were together. That'd be awesome. But it just, that guy just said everything that we feel at W. And I've always tried to, put that out here on our channel. We are allies. We work together. I know each and every one of the military men and women would take a bullet for the next, no matter what country they're in.
Yes, they would.
And that says it all.
Talked to.
Yeah, it's true. So, but that was just awesome. Can you imagine going out with these guys though in Vegas after a day's hard work of training?
I think after the 2-week training,
it's freaking fun as heck.
That'd be game on.
It'd be fun. I would love to see footage of that. That'd be hilariously cool.
Black Hawks provide cover as the B-52 strategic bombers depart first, then the tankers, then the fast jets follow. There seems little doubt amongst the 3,000 or so deployed that Red Flag is working. You said you'd only died once. Is that...
Yes, so do we have to talk about that? It was my first mission. I was taken aback by the aggressiveness of our adversary. I haven't died since, so I learned my lesson, I like to think.
I was the last guy to get gas for my flight, and I look over to my left, and I see 4 Typhoons over to my left. It was just, a surreal moment. I couldn't believe that whatever choices in my life brought me to that moment. It was beautiful to see. I feel exactly where I want to be,
Oh, come on! Oh, you're both...
We're both in pause. That's amazing. I mean, that says it right there. I mean...
the 4 Typhoons, heck yeah. That'd be pretty sick to see that right next to you. I agree with that. That guy's living his dream right there.
He is. He definitely got to a great moment in his life.
Yeah, and I'm wearing my U.S. Marine shirt today. My daddy was a Marine, if you don't know, and I'm proud of that. But yeah, U.S. Marine captain. Yeah, he's living his best life. That's so freaking cool.
Yeah. That had been such a cool feeling to, like you said, look out his window and see those 4 Typhoons.
I couldn't imagine. I mean, I get goosebumps just talking about it, and I feel a little emotional right now, but I couldn't imagine seeing that. Also, I'd puke in his jets, so never gonna happen.
Beautiful to see. I feel exactly where I want to be, Just feels right being here.
Amen, brother.
As red flag draws to a close, coalition forces prepare for the long journey home, and Nevada looks to future red flags, which may be conducted entirely at sea. Hannah King, Forces News, Nellis Air Base, Nevada.
Okay. I would love to see even more, but like some of the stuff they showed in the cockpit and stuff like that was just kind of epic. It's so neat to see inside and also hear from some of the military men from the different countries, all 3 countries. Just absolutely love it.
I guess they couldn't really show us too much of their actual training and give it away, but I mean, that was so cool to see everybody working together and see how they do it a little bit.
The Australian woman that was talking, she was awesome. She's just like, yeah, the way she made it sound was just like, yeah, this may look a little like simple. It's not. I'm like, yeah, it's a giant computer badass craft, you know, like she made it sound like it was. Yeah, she just made it sound like, yeah, but you know, whatever. I love the Aussie mentality of just like, yeah, whatever. If you guys like this episode, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. Like I said, you know, having news going on that can be, you know, scary with the current events, you know, then seeing stuff like this, it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Seeing everybody working together, getting along, preparing.
It makes me happy. It makes me feel strong and proud. Yes. And it should hopefully do the same for you. And hopefully it did. And that's why we wanted to do this video today. It's only been out for a couple days anyway. And like I said, I'm pretty sure this is from just like a week or 2 ago.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, they were talking about 2023.
Well, yeah. So it's like
we're not that far in.
Fresh footage. Not yet. Blink. But I thought that was awesome. I just love seeing our countries working together again. It's just the allied nations. Again, thank you again for all your service, everyone in the military. And I'm including Canada and New Zealand and things like that here as well. Yeah. Yes. It's just a blessing. You know, it's a blessing to have friends, you know, from all over the world. And, you know, all of us together. Yeah. Good luck, anybody else.
That's right. And we consider you guys watching friends too. So please leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought of today's video.
Absolutely. And guys, thank you so much again for just being here and part of our channel. You know, again, in times like, you know, when things are kind of freaky, scary, a little upsetting, just remember there's always something good back there. There's always something good going on too. I think that's important to try to remember. That's hard, you know, but that's anything in life. You know, there's always going to be something good back behind the bad. Eventually there will be. Hard to see it, I know. But thank you so much for being here today. We appreciate you as always, guys. And please, as always, love like jazz.
Be as strong as Tyson.
Bye-bye.
Bye.